I'm Heber, he's Tristan.
And we are no strangers to brain rot repairs. We've seen and I've done some pretty bad DIY repairs, but today we're gonna be checking out some actual brain rot fixes. This is why you keep mechanics off of TikTok.
First clip.
A customer installed their own engine and it won't run. No brakes, no coolant reservoir, wheels are cut to fit. Core support is bent, torn, wires hacked to pieces.
Are those 2 lug nuts, 2 on there? Oh no, it's 3. He's got 3 at least. The golden standard 3 lug nuts, dude. Damn!
This dude needs to be banished to the shadow realm. This is just insanity.
What did he do?
It looks like he tried to pull the engine out, and instead, I don't know if these cars have removable core supports, but it looks like it was removed to put the engine in and then not put back correctly. The fact that there's no brakes, I'm hoping that they towed it in. No coolant reservoir, so it's just overheating, it can't stop. The wheel is incredibly impressive because it feels like this person has the right tools, but it's just like,
He was able to pull out an old engine and put a new one in.
If you can do that, and if you can cut a triangle out of a wheel like that,
you got an angle grinder.
It just seems like something's not right. Like this is true brain rot.
Yeah,
this is an actual brain rot repair.
This is a good definition of brain rot.
Because let me read y'all.
Put this in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Put this in the dictionary. Put this video in the dictionary here.
Let me read y'all what brain rot is according to Google. Brain rot is a term that describes a perceived decline in mental or intellectual state, often caused by consuming excessive amounts of online content.
I'm losing brain cells watching this. This hurts.
Next clip.
Yeah. That's how they do body work. That's legit how it goes, dude.
I have crashed my fair share of cars and I've had to duct tape them up on the way to the junkyard. This guy is holding on with just hopes and dreams. It seems like every part of this car has some layer of tape on it.
It's like you could probably get a knife and carve out the body of the car with how much damn tape there's on there.
I'm wondering if this is crash wrap and they're just like, you know what I mean?
Sealing it to make sure it doesn't, I get
if it's a biohazard car.
I mean, he's got the lights taped too at their own colors. Look at that.
It seems like there's a lot more garbage bags and tape than what is needed. What's on the dashboard over there? They got a little guy on the dashboard? Enhance.
That looks like an orange peel.
Oh, so at least he doesn't have scurvy.
That actually is an orange peel. Oh my God.
There's an orange peel and the letter, the number 4. Today's brain rot is brought to you by the letter 4.
Beast Boy, how many fingers have I holding up?
Beast Boy, Beast Boy.
You know what they say, if it ain't working, you ain't got enough duct tape on it. Next clip.
You guys gotta take a look at this. It just gets better and better. Somebody did some wiring repair to this vehicle, but basically routed all the wiring underneath it.
Is that my old E34?
Suspension component.
It looks good to me, dude.
They sit on the brake lines. And then from there, you put it through the exhaust where it's nice and hot.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, anytime he goes over a bump or anytime he turns, that wire is rubbing and moving and bouncing around.
Insulation will last them maybe a bit.
Half a mile.
Until it gets to the exhaust. That's where it'll die out.
The fact that they're putting it underneath the control arm.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Springs, that's nuts.
That's wild. I had an E34. It had a wire for these halo lights that they put in the front headlights. And the way they routed it was it went through the hood, like legit, when you close the hood, it would land on the wire, go over and go into the cabin through the door hole. So they didn't even mount it through the firewall. It went from the outside back in. It was just so crap.
But you know how it is running wires through the firewall?
Yeah.
It can be, I mean, you have to do it. I'm not excusing this by any means.
Of course.
But you can see how people that don't know too much
about wiring
or just cars in general will be like, how the hell am I gonna fit this wire through the firewall, through all this stuff? And then they just loop it around.
I get that, but just at this point, if you gotta do some wiring and you can't understand it, maybe it's time to give it to somebody else.
All right, next clip.
My son tried to do his own brakes because he wanted to, and he had some trouble and he also
because he wanted to.
One nuts, or a couple of them. And then the wooden kit to help hold the wheel on. I don't think he's ready to do his own brakes yet.
I think he's perfectly ready, dude.
I think your son needs to be institutionalized. Holy hell.
He lost 2 lug nuts and put zip ties on there. He's like, yeah, that ain't going nowhere.
I just feel
he probably slapped it too. Just
This is beyond brain rot.
Tristan, have you ever seen anything similar to this before?
Hell no. What? And it looks like they've been on there for a long time.
Yeah, they got some brake dust on them.
How many lug nuts can you get away with if you're missing one? Or a couple?
I would only feel comfortable if I had 3. Because at least I have even pressure along the wheel.
Sort of make a little triangle.
And it would only be temporary. I wouldn't feel real comfortable with anything less than 3. If you have 2 on there, dude, that thing's gonna be wobbling. I feel like it would. There's not enough pressure on it to keep it stable. And that goes for like any lug nut pattern, right? Because then you got 6, 4. Something that's even.
And even if it's holding on for a little bit with just 2, the vibration is gonna cause those holes to oval out, and then your wheel could ultimately end up falling off.
Let's roll on over to that next clip. Yeah. Pull. Pull, pull, pull. Oh.
That looks a bit thick, just to be paint. It looks like there was some body work that happened there earlier. Like they spread out some filler, and for whatever reason, it was able to crease, right? Actually, if you look at the beginning of the video, you can see it's already cracked at the top. And as you can see, the spider lines sort of like proliferating outwards. It was already screwed up.
Yeah.
And they just made the problem much, much worse.
You know, I had a guy fix a dent in my daily in a 7-Eleven parking lot. My daily 07 Corolla, it had like a plastic bumper on there, you know, it's like, and he was like, dude, like I see your dent, because I have a dent in the front, and like this guy's like, I'll fix your dent for you, dude, I'll fix your dent. And I was like trying to brush him off because I really didn't care, but he kept pressing me for it, and I was like, all right, dude. I was like, how much? And he's like, 25. And I knew I had $25 in my pocket. I had more than 25. I told him 15. He's like, deal. All right.
Did it work? Did he do a good job?
He pulled out a blowtorch, and he pulled out one of those tire spoons, the wheel spoons, you know, to change the tire out. And he was just like heating it up with the blowtorch and pushing it out with the tire spoon at the same time.
Did it turn out pretty good?
Turned out pretty good for $15, you know. Can't complain. I definitely lowballed him though.
I finally did it. Look at that. Here's what it used to look like.
All right.
Speed bump.
You hit?
Oh yes, yes.
Speed bump.
I've
Here's
seen
what it
that.
looks like now. I'm gonna die.
That's his fix?
That's his fix.
That's not the before?
That's not the before. The before is that. So like blew out the whole strut tower.
Oh my God. There is some black slop on top of the strut tower.
Yep.
What do you think that is?
It looks like partially JB weld.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm thinking also maybe fiberglass, but I don't think so.
I think so.
It looks like yellowish, right? It's got that tint. It's got that tint to it. Of
It looks like rotten meat, bro. This looks like zombie meat. Ew.
I feel like he maybe did use the original metal and he kind of like hammered it back in place and just kind of like fiberglassed it, or maybe just like JB welded it all back together. It'll be fine. You just gotta slap it twice and say that ain't going nowhere.
It's also a Yugo. So it's a Yugo, so honestly, this is probably a step up from factory regardless. I've actually heard about this happening in some other cars, like even the E36.
E36, E46 are pretty well known to, what is it called? That's like mushroom?
Just blow the strut tower
blows
out.
the strut towers out. That's why they always recommend like reinforcing E46, E36 strut towers. They tend to mushroom out. Something about when you mess around with the suspension, the car does not like it.
What is the worst build quality car you've ever worked on?
It would be like somebody else's used project car would be like.
Like every single time I dive into a project thinking it's gonna take a certain amount of time, somebody else has been there to make it much, much worse.
That's true. Next up.
So we have a 1980 Bronco, and yes, you heard me right, 1980.
Yeah.
And I swear this must have
Is that
come in
foam?
from you
That
boys
looks
in
like
the
spray
Rust
foam.
Belt. But this I had not seen before. I have seen the Expando foam, but this one they have a ground wire here
It's structural.
and a ground wire here. And looking at the frame of this poor boy should have been shot and put in the field years ago.
I can relate.
Oh my god.
A little bit of grinder and paint.
I like the accent. I like the banjo going. Totally sets the vibe.
I'm not even mad about the spray foam. It's structural at this point. My only complaint, didn't clean off that ground wire. Where it's sitting on, it's still rusty. Come on.
When your car gets to this point, it's this rusty, it's affecting the frame and the structural integrity of the car. You just gotta get rid of it. Rust is like cancer at the end of the day. If you leave it, it'll proliferate more. It's gonna end up destroying your whole car. There's ways to combat it. You can neutralize it with like phosphoric acid. You can use Pour 15, but you gotta grind it down, you gotta convert it, and you gotta top coat it to prevent the spread. In a case like this, it's already spread too much. It's affecting major structural points of the car. This is like a total loss, in my opinion. Also, spray foam attracts water. It's basically a sponge. So everywhere that he put that spray foam, throughout the frame rails, throughout everything, all the gaping holes, now there's a sponge in it holding water.
Moisture.
Moisture! The fact of the matter is, some people just can't afford to get a whole new car.
That's true.
And they just will put spray foam in it and just say like, I just need it to get me from point A to point B. So, have you ever put expanding foam in a car?
No.
Neither have I. Next clip. Okay, it looks like he's buffing out some curb rash, sanding it down.
Seems like sanding. All right. Shiny.
Okay, a little bit of
Okay.
sandpaper.
Polishing.
I think this is a pretty decent job, man. In my opinion, if this was me working in my own wheel, I curbed it, I'm upset, I grind it down, sand it, polish it, I think this is passable, honestly.
Understandable. There's definitely like a professional way to do it, but let's be real, not everybody has the money to take a wheel to the machine shop and just get it finally done and everything. Will this make your wheel so clean? Yes. Will it throw off the balance a bit? Maybe. At the same time, my only other concern was what material the wheel's made out of.
I can guarantee you that's an aluminum rim.
Yeah. Oh, then it shouldn't be a big of a deal. It'll look real shiny.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
This is something that I've done in the past whenever I've curved my wheels, and I do it all the time.
I just curved my wheels.
Yeah. The minute you start accepting that your wheels are gonna get curbed in certain circumstances, like there's gonna be a pothole that you can't avoid, it's the most liberating feeling to step out of a car and be like, oh, that's new, and then just walk away.
Well, I'm a good driver. I don't curb my wheels. It shows you how bad it is. Just shut the f up.
Okay.
The opposite of it gets better.
A little bit of fire.
Okay, he's got a fire. All right.
I have been in this exact scenario.
He's smacking it. He's like, yeah, this will do it.
Oh,
why?
no! Oh, no!
Throw it. Get out of there. Oh. Oh, he's getting. Move the car.
It went from just the bike on fire to absolutely everything.
Oh. Oh, oh, it's getting worse. What is he spraying?
It looks like a tiny fire extinguisher. Mondays, am I right?
There you go.
There we go.
He's using like an engine starter fluid there. He's got something on the bottom that's clearly flammable, like a pan. So it was possibly fuel. So he starts it, it sparks out of the carb, lands on whatever's flammable there, which is probably just a bunch of fuel in a pan. So when you're doing like stuff with carbs too, it's great to have a fire extinguisher around, a nice solid one, and know where it is. We have a few in our shop. We have about like 3 just in case, and they're really easy accessible and everybody knows where they are. Because things spark up like that, you know? Especially like in this one with carbs, you know, like sometimes carbs backfire from the top and they will spark up. I've had it happen, you know? Like shoot, we've had throttle bodies, you know, spark up and backfire through the throttle body. So it's very dangerous. And fires can start easily through the tiniest spark if you got flammable material around.
It just takes one spark.
Takes one spark and then you got a big fire.
Next clip.
Oh! Yo, take this guy to the eye doctor. He needs help. How do you miss that bad? Exactly how it says, how did you miss that damn bad? You're gonna need a new fender, man.
Yeah. Actually, no, they could probably.
Pop that out. Yeah, just do it in reverse. Rewind the video.
Yeah, rewind it.
Rewind it.
Oh, thank God you stopped
you
the
fixed
video
it.
before anything bad happened. This just seems like a lack of hand-eye coordination.
I mean, what was he trying to do here, Tristan? Do you know?
He was probably trying to seat it. Maybe the lug nut itself was rounded out and he's just trying to hammer a socket onto it.
Very possible. I've done that before. Not like this.
You just gotta learn, man. You learn by making mistakes.
Let's learn and watch that next clip.
Oh!
Oh,
The alignment
God.
reflectors on the back of his wheel.
Which tech forgot this? Oh! Dude, I know that piece is expensive too. Anything specialized is expensive.
So, Heber, if you wouldn't mind telling the viewers that don't know what this is, what is attached to that wheel right there?
You see that thing right there, that thing on the wheel on the right side of the video right there, that thing right there? So that is basically a thing that is used for wheel alignments. It basically is put on the wheel and attached to it, and then the machine sends out a laser or some infrared thing. I'm not super familiar with machines because I don't own one. It's used for wheel alignments, and somebody left this on there, and they're gonna pay a high price if they break it because things are expensive.
I have never seen this before.
You've never seen that thing before?
I have seen them. I just don't know how you could let it get away from the shop like that. What a bummer.
Next clip.
Customer comes in with a V6 Mustang with transmission
best
problems.
type of
We throw it up
Mustang.
on the lift, diagnose the transmission problems, but we see this. The upper control arm mount has been cut off or broken and re-welded by somebody's cousin Eddie that apparently was blind and did not have any gas in his welder. We mentioned it to the customer. They're like, yeah, I know, it's fine. Don't BS me.
This
Don't
is
try to sell
fine.
me something I don't need. I don't want to waste any of my money. So fix my transmission and let me go. Bro, you finna kill somebody.
Or yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't work on that.
It just looks
This
like
is bad.
random brackets and angle iron, just
Yeah.
booger welded all on. Yeah, I mean, people will turn down, like this person in the video right now, like something that's obviously
Yeah.
a problem, and they'll turn it down thinking like, oh, no, you're just trying to upsell me, you're trying to upsell me.
And that's true. You know, sometimes people do try to upsell you.
Yeah,
things.
all the time.
But if like the dude looks really concerned telling you about this, there's probably a reason why.
Your safety is priority number one. You only got one life. And everybody else on the road driving with you also has one life. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I feel like V6 Mustangs get some of the worst treatment out of all cars.
People don't care about V6 engines.
They don't.
Put F's in the chat for V6 engines. everybody.
F's in the chat for V6.
F's in the
Hey,
chat.
wait a minute. I'm talking directly to you. Wait a minute. You don't have the money for the V8? Wait, save. Because the minute you get that V6, everyone's gonna be like,
Next clip. Oh, I've seen this one. Oh, so sad.
F in the chat right now.
F in the chat.
Right now,
F in the
right now,
chat for this, man.
Right now.
Remember, guys, check your pins. If there's anything you can learn from this video, is check your pins. Make sure you have that safety in place, because this could happen.
So these engine hoists, they have these little metal dowels that go through, and then a cotter pin goes on the other side that prevents it from slipping out. Earlier, what you saw is that pin falling out because he's trying to twist this. He's trying to twist the engine hoist, and one side picks up, and then the pin shoots out. It just sucks because literally all that work, hours and hours and hours of detailed work, because that's a pretty looking engine.
Yeah, he probably cleaned it up, fixed it up. Who knows?
All
now,
that work.
It might be messed up now. It could be that with all
Could've
that.
cracked the
weight,
block.
Yeah, it could have cracked the block.
Yeah.
It's got to start over again. So again, safety first. Always check your equipment and make sure it works.
This is just one little thing. A 10-cent piece of metal could have potentially just cost him a substantial amount of money. I'm just glad that he's safe. He didn't
That's
get
true.
trapped under it.
I'm glad he didn't walk in front of it and try to
Yeah.
stop it. Because when stuff happens like that,
Get away.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. If you guys want to see even more brain dead repairs, click right here.
yeah, right there. I think we're pointing at it. Maybe it's
Oh.
here. Oh, it's like a mime. Tristan,
Yes.
thanks for being here with me today. This was great.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you, Heber.
Awesome.
All right, guys. See you next time.
Bye-bye. Now I need to go ice my head.